Well, the federal government subsidy reinvestment program, SureP, has awarded 774 beneficiaries with various empowerment tools in the Isoko local government area of Delta State. At the flag-off ceremony, the secretary to the Delta State government, Ovuzuria Makoli, pointed out that the objective is to provide the citizens with the necessary tools needed to enhance their socioeconomic status.
Tricycles, popularly known as keke napep, sewing and vulcanizing machines, hair dryers, musical equipment, and generating sets are some of the items donated by the Subsidy Reinvestment Program, SureP.
This program came into existence following the partial removal of petroleum product subsidy by the federal government. SureP was established to ensure that subsidy proceeds are channeled to provide palliative targeted at the poor and other vulnerable in this society.
The Isoko North Local Government Council was filled to capacity with men and women who came all out to witness the government's generosity.
It is all part of our extended effort to empower our youth to believe by the grace of God others are to be procured. And the same procedure used in selecting the beneficiary will be used by same you people to select them. And gradually, like I've always said, if you don't have today, tomorrow it may be your turn. The important thing is that at the end of the day, as many people as possible will benefit from this scheme.
A gesture greatly appreciated by the beneficiaries.
They have to greet the people, especially our leaders. They are trying the way they remember us. I so much appreciate. So thank you for the local government chairman, governor of the Delta State, Odraga. So I beg, thank you very much.
I love today's program. Government is doing very well, and I thank government for giving me this Odraga canopy.
The SureP project has a lot of good intentions for citizens of the country. The only question is if it will be sustained when the term of the present administration comes to an end.
The Nigerian stock market closed on a positive note today. That's on Business News.
And on the foreign scene, former Liberian President Charles Taylor may be spending the rest of his life behind bars.
Well, join us again.
A time comes in the life of every race when people are driven by echoes of the past to chart a course for an exalted future. Africa is at this threshold as major actors in the Africa arena plot a renaissance towards common destiny. Let's pedal across the streams of yesterday, from the back streets of Africa to the defining roles of policymakers, the political realities of the African nation, balance of power, and the strive to sustain national interest and identity. Join us on Network Africa on Channels Television. Network Africa, the rallying point for the emergence of a new Africa.
On business news, over 15 million farmers have been registered under the Growth Enhancement Scheme as part of efforts by the federal government to stop food importation and ensure self-reliance of farmers. The scheme has registered farmers from Niger, Plateau, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, and the Federal Capital Territory.
This is said to be part of government's drive to diversify the economy away from oil, as there has been strong focus on the agriculture sector, with the continued development of finance schemes and expansion of credit to the sector. The Nigerian equities market closed on a bright note today as it sustained gains recorded from the previous session. The benchmark index climbed further north, this time by 0.04% to 36,158.04. Market capitalization also moved higher and ended at 11.51 trillion naira. Total chalked up 5 naira to lead other price gainers for the session. And on the flip side, Nestle declined by 10 naira 97 kobo, with Presco followed with a 3 naira 70 kobo loss. At the end of the day's trade, total market volume also edged up to 314.27 million units and exchanged in over 5,000 deals. The federal government plans to issue between 135 to 235 billion naira in sovereign bonds maturing in August 2006 and July 2030 in the fourth quarter of the year. The Debt Management Office says the amount being proposed is within the volume of actual debt issuance in the third quarter, totaling 203.78 billion naira. The DMO plans to auction between 45 to 80 billion naira each in 3-year and 20-year paper on October 16 and November 13, respectively, while the debt office will issue 45 to 75 billion naira of the same maturities on December 11. All is now set for the Nigerian Stock Exchange to commence trading activities on its new trading platform called XGen. A press release from the NSE series of market readiness tests have been carried out to create a new world-class market structure, and final preparations are being made to move over to the next generation platform this weekend. The XGen has been described as a high-performance trading engine, and Nigeria is the first country in West Africa to adopt the system.
And on the foreign scene, former Liberian President Charles Taylor will spend 50 years in prison for aiding and abetting rebels in neighboring Sierra Leone during the 1991 to 2002 civil war. That's the decision of a UN-backed special court in The Hague, which rejected an appeal by lawyers representing Mr. Taylor. It ruled that his convictions had been proved beyond doubt.
Mr. Taylor appeared impassive in court as the judge upheld his convictions and 50-year sentence. He was sentenced in May 2012 for aiding rebels who committed atrocities in Sierra Leone during its civil war. Mr. Taylor is the first former head of state convicted by International War Crimes Court since World War II.
Still in Africa, in what is said to be the worst outbreak of unrest in Sudan's capital in years, at least 27 people have been killed in protests in Khartoum over fuel subsidy cuts announced by President Omar Hassan al-Bashir. Thousands of protesters torched cars and petrol stations in central areas of the capital yesterday, sending thick plumes of black smoke into the air. Even though President Bashir is facing a warrant for his arrest issued by the International Criminal Court, he has avoided the unrest that unseated rulers in the Arab states. Similar protests broke out in June last year after some fuel subsidies were cut, but they fizzled out after a security crackdown.
A day after Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said he was ready to commence nuclear talks with world powers on Tehran's nuclear program, well, he has given a timeline of between 3 to 6 months for that to happen. He told the Washington Post he saw a resolution of the issue as a beginning point in easing U.S.-Iran relations. Mr. Rouhani said he was fully empowered by Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, to negotiate on the issue. Now today, Iran will hold talks with the P5+1 group of world powers on Tehran's uranium enrichment program. Well, Cameroon beat Nigeria by 71 points to 65 to finish second spot in Group B at the ongoing African Women Basketball Championship in Maputo. Despite the loss, the Tigers still progressed to the quarterfinal, where they will now face host Mozambique on Friday night.
Cameroon and Nigeria stayed neck and neck throughout the first quarter. Cameroon then eked out a 19-18 lead after 10 minutes of action. Nigeria erased the deficit in the second frame as they jumped ahead for a narrow 36 points to 35 half-time lead. Nigeria stretched the gap in this third quarter, opening a 4-point lead heading into the fourth stanza, but Cameroon managed to recover in the final frame, triggering a 20-10 surge to seal victory. In football, Aqua United coach Justin Tenge is proud of his wards despite going down 1-0 to Enyimba in week 34 of the Globe Premier League clash at the Enyimba International Stadium. Striker Emeka Nwana's fine header in the 38th